I think as as you get older, it becomes more apparent that you have to cross-train. That when you get to the age that I'm at, or Mike, he's a little younger than me, but it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for me to ride 5 or 6 horses a day. It doesn't use a lot of my energy anymore. So I have to do other fitness things, whether it's weight training or cardiovascular, or whatever it is. I mean, you use all that out on that cross-country course. And sometimes, well, most of the time in my clinics, I'll have people gallop in a big circle, slow gallop for 4 or 5 minutes with their stirrups really short, racing length, in the galloping position. And after that little period of time, I bring everybody over, and there's some huffing and puffing going on, and none of the horses are breathing heavy. And you think about that, that was only 3 or 4 or 5 minutes of galloping position, and there's some riders, the majority of the riders are feeling it. I think being stable in your position, like everybody's touched on, being fit to ride in this sport is not about who can run the fastest or swim the fastest or bench press the most weight. It's about being able to sustain a position for an indefinite period of time. Whatever that position is, if it's sitting trot or if it's the 2-point or the 3-point, or being able to move around on the horse but maintain your center of gravity. That's what fitness is all about for me.
I train a lot of amateurs, and one of the things that I always try to stress to them, it's a little bit, for us up here, we ride a lot, and it comes relatively easy most of the time, but I always try to put myself in somebody else's position. So I go skiing about once a year, and snow skiing. And for me, I can compare it for you in that it's like going down that last run at about 4:30 in the afternoon, where you're you're thinking, you know what, I shouldn't have done one more run. And you get that fatigued feeling, and you think this is maybe not going to be so good. And that is when people get hurt. That's when people have falls. And it's the same in riding. I have a lot of people that can jump the first 15 fences really well around that novice track, but because they're not very fit, they work in an office, they're 50 years old, and they're on those last 4 fences, and they're huffing and puffing, and they're getting actually fatigued from not being able to maintain that position to the finish line. And so that's what I think Karen brings up a good point. You can actually test yourself. You know that you need to be able, and I would say that whatever the length of the course is, you better be able to do double that, okay, comfortably. So if the course, say at novice or training is 5 minutes, you need to be able to hold that position for 10 minutes and not feel that you don't want to feel like I do when I get in the last run on the ski slopes.
I do. Fitness is so important. I think also I do a lot of yoga as well, and for me, that has helped me so much with just taking my riding to the next level, especially my dressage, because so much of riding is good posture and balance and controlled movement, controlled strength, and how can you have strength without tension and softness without being loose? And it's just a very, you can't just, it's just not mastering the technique. It's learning the correct sort of body control and how that connects with your horse as well. So I think so much of fitness and strength and balance, strength and flexibility is so important. It really helps you get the most out of the lessons in your training every day. So that's where the fitness part is so important for me. And with my students, I think I've seen a lot of improvement in my students and them getting so much more out of their lessons with that. So.